This is Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. You can find us on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback versions worldwide, and also on Facebook and our active Facebook group. Here's the book, Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling. Today we're going to do a 9-card spread, and the question is there a terrorist cell operating in Florida? Today on the news, the largest mass killing in the history of the United States occurred in Orlando, Florida, at a gay nightclub. One man with an AR rifle shot and killed 50 unarmed civilians and wounded 53 more. So 103 people were shot by one armed man. And so the question is, that I want to know is there a terrorist cell operating in Florida? Is this guy a is this a hate crime? Does this person hate gay people? Or was this an organized effort by a terrorist organization, and they put this guy, Omar Mateen, an American citizen from of Afghan descent, on it? So in a 9-card spread, you read past, past, present, present, future, future. You can also read what's touching, knighting, mirroring. There's a lot of things we can do with this. And so we'll start with the entrance card here. The entrance card here is strength. So is there a terrorist cell operating in Florida? And is that why this happened? So the strength card, it's a jack, it's a club. Clubs are about rooting. And so my initial impression is, yes, okay, there's a new rooting of something, and I asked about a terrorist cell. There's something rooting here in Florida, and I live in Florida. So the exit card, this is the outcome. So in a 9-card spread, this is the outcome. This is the future row. This is the outcome. The outcome is inheritance, 10 diamonds inheritance. So is there a terrorist cell in Florida? And the outcome is inheritance. And inheritance suggests that they're part of America. This man, Omar Mateen, he is of Afghan descent. It's actually very clear. They've already just announced that he has clear ties to terrorism. He was under investigation by the FBI. He's part of our land. He is a citizen of the United States. That's part of what inheritance. Inheritance is like the firstborn son receives an inheritance. He receives everything passed down from the father generationally. It's not because he's a great guy. It's because he's the son. He's a son of the United States. This is an inheritance. Let's look at the middle, which is the theme. Okay. And we have the King of Spades. That's a very interesting card to appear here. Is there a terrorist cell operating in Florida? The King of Spades is the executioner. Okay, this was an execution style murder. This guy went in and just killed as many people as he possibly could. He was very well armed. He was if this was like, there's different energies that could appear. So the theme of this is the executioner. You could see a 6 spades, which would be a very bitter person. You could see a Queen of Spades, which would be jealous and vengeful. You could see a lot of different energies here, but this is the King of Spades. And the King of Spades, the executioner, as I said, these were execution style murders. But the executioner it's a doctor, it's a lawyer, it's a policeman, it's a It's a mob boss. The executioner is someone who acts. He acts very decisively. It's a male energy. It doesn't have to be a male. And no one can stop them. So this man came with overwhelming force, and he did what he came to do. Also, the executioner definitely suggests organization. So I'm going to say, so far, this reads, there's a new rooting of a terrorist organization in our land, embedded in our land, in America, which is very interesting. The executioner definitely suggests organization. Let's look at the rest of the cards and see what we get. And the Magi method is about reading ordinary playing cards for fortune telling and divination, just like tarot, just so you know, this is I'm coming up with I'm about to come out with a Magi deck. It's not available yet. It's going to be available in a few days. So anyway, and I'll sell that on Etsy, but it's not available yet. So when it comes out, I'll do a review of it, and we'll see. So let's read. This is the past, past across, past down, present down, present across, future down, future across, and we can look at what's touching. What's touching is interesting here because that's what I did on the last one. So the past down, we have strength, earthquake, and cornucopia. You always read the center first. So the theme of this past line is the earthquake. The earthquake, it destroys everything. An earthquake happens, and it just goes on for a few moments, maybe even a few seconds, but when it's done, everything has changed. That's what the earthquake is about. So this is a destruction card. So there's a rooting of an organization to destroy everything, to change everything. And cornucopia this is actually the card of money. Cornucopia is the card of abundance and money and all the material things of the world. The United States is the richest country in the world. And they hate us for it. The Islamists hate us. The radical Islamists hate us for it. And so this is a new rooting of an organization dedicated to destroying everything that exists, and especially the wealthy. Destroying everything. Okay, so the past across. Strength, veil, finger of God. So veil is hidden. A bride wears a veil. The veil of the temple was rent, opening the most holy place, okay, so that everyone could come in, okay. So this hidden, a new rooting and a strong rooting, and the finger of God. So they actually believe that they are the literal finger of God on the earth to carry out God's will. That's what this says to me. This new rooting, this hidden, these terrorists are always hidden. They can't work if they're not hidden. They are the literal finger of God on this earth. Let's look at the present line down. Veil, executioner, and roses. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so in the middle is the executioner. And this is like a terrorist organization. The executioner is a good example of a terrorist organization. If this was the devil card, then the devil is more arbitrary. They're malicious and they're angry and they will hurt you and they're selfish, but it can be more randomized. The executioner is a much more directed energy, very strong, very powerful. It definitely suggests organization. So this organization that is hidden, and roses. Roses in a spiritual context, this can be a very spiritual card, and I think this is becoming a spiritual reading here. This is all the physical things of the world. This is very spiritual. Mother Mary and the Holy Spirit, they come with the smell of roses. Okay, so the Spirit of God comes with the smell of roses. So this hidden organization with this executioner, it shows roses. This hidden organization. So this is because of Islam. This actually, roses would translate to Islam, peace. Seems to me that would be a good translation. How about the President Cross? Earthquake, executioner, handcuffs. So this very powerful organization is bound to the destruction of everything. Wow. Yeah, this is about, so is there a terrorist organization operating in Florida? Yeah. This powerful organization is bound to the destruction of everything. Let's look at the future row, because the future is very interesting. The future down, finger of God, handcuffs, and inheritance. Okay, so you always read the middle card first. This binding, the finger of God, inheritance, they are bound to do the will of God and establish. This is like establishing God's theocracy on earth. They are the finger of God bound to establish God's theocracy, the Islam on the earth. Let's read the future across. Cornucopia, which is everything, and a money card, a wealth card. Roses and inheritance. Islam, all the material things. Inheritance. Wow. So the beautiful way, Islam, in the wealthy land, established. They want to establish the beauty of Islam everywhere and make it, they want to make the earth a theocracy. Tens are completion. They want the whole earth to be under Islam. And diamonds are very physical. So through violence and by force, the executioner uses force. Okay, when a policeman comes to arrest you, you're not allowed to resist. When the doctor comes to do surgery, you don't say to the doctor, "Why are you making that cut? Why are you putting me under anesthesia?" They just do it. Okay, and you don't know what they're doing. They can't be resisted. So the executioner is someone you cannot resist. They just do it. They use overwhelming force. So this says to me that clearly there is a terrorist cell operating in Florida, and that Omar, what's his name? Omar Mateen is a terrorist. Okay, this is a terrorism spread. So there is a terrorist cell operating in Florida. And Omar Mateen is clearly a terrorist. I mean, I'm not seeing anything here to suggest that he's a jilted lover. Okay, that he was a gay man. And so if he was, I would expect to see some relationship cards here. Okay, some twos. Here's a two. This is very impersonal. Handcuffs is very impersonal joining. Okay, this is usually a work card. So there's no lover card. There's no union card. This is, this is not a relationship spread. This is an organizational spread. So clearly, and I would just like to make a point. Terrorism is growing in the United States. And every time there's a terrorist act, the people of the United States lose more rights. More money is applied to give the police and others more guns and more control and more power. And this takes away more and more from the rights of the citizens of the United States. Are there effective ways to fight terrorism? There clearly are. So why is our government not effectively fighting terrorism? There is a balance between effectiveness and the rights of citizens of the United States. Okay, there's a balance between effective fighting of a war and the rights of the citizens. Our government is not effectively fighting terrorism, and there is clearly a terrorist cell in Florida, and Omar Mateen he's a terrorist, and that's what this spread says. And we need to fight terrorism effectively, and we're not fighting it effectively. So anyway, I am Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Find us on Kindle and in paperback worldwide on Amazon, and also in Facebook in our active Facebook group.